In a town 58,000 strong, there moved a foreigner. He was a Jewish man from the ocean. Yet, he traveled to a land with no water to find a new life. He arrived upon plains so big, you could only call it the middle of nowhere. Now, live from a land so vast, this is his cast.
Oh, the humanity.
Cowboys, cowgirls, studs, mares, and farmers of all ages. This is the middle of nowhere cast with your host, Robby.
I don't know. You want to talk about it? We can talk about it. Well, who would be against increased punishments for assault?
Here's the problem.
Okay.
So there's all these legit. Are we on yet or no?
We're on. Yeah, we're going.
Okay.
It's,
All right.
it's super informal.
But you edit, obviously.
No, not really.
No.
Well, yes, I do, but
Okay.
not. I mean,
Don't I have to say who I am in the beginning?
you don't have to if you want to.
Well, after this. So,
I like this one already. This is going great.
so we're talking. Do you want to fill them in on what we're talking
We're
about?
talking about what? We're talking about HB 79, which is still in committee in the Ohio legislature. It's increased punishments for assaults on sports officials.
Correct.
How'd I do?
That's good.
Okay.
And what's happened, and this is my, I've only been in this space, this direct space, like state legislature for now a year and a week, technically,
freshman.
to the day.
Nice.
And so this is new for me. I was on a local city council, as I know many of your other past, guests have been on one job and they end up moving up, or I don't actually consider it moving
laterally.
up. Lateral. I don't consider these moving up. It's just moving to another job in public service. So I was on the city council in where we are right now, Beachwood, for 7 years, but now I've been here for a year. So, but what I've learned in this year, interestingly, is that the issue with enhanced penalties for one group is that some people are against it because they say, well, what about this group? What about that group? And then it like never ends. And then it's like, well, shouldn't we just increase the penalties for everybody? I don't necessarily agree. I'm fine with going on a case by case. Let's find a group that should be extra protected.
Mm-hmm. I think what part of it for me is like, as humans, we should be able to see nuance. Like just because it is one thing for one group, I mean, the other thing too, which I'll say, is being a sports official in youth sports is not an immutable characteristic you can't change. So it's not a rule for a certain group of people inherently, because it's not increased for Jewish people or increased for black people.
Right.
It's like you can opt in or opt out. If you opt in, you have these extra protections if you're working in your capacity.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I'm in favor of it. I might even be a co-sponsor. I don't know. I don't know because there's so many bills. But it's interesting that one of the reasons that people are opposed to these increased is they say, well, we should just increase it for all or none. Don't have special protections. But we've done, just so you know, we've done this year the Larry Henderson Act, which is based on a case in Ohio, sadly, where it's a really sad case if you know the whole story, because it's not, a lot of these things aren't black and white. We're dealing in gray areas. To be clear, I'm not saying that not the victim, the suspect is at all justified for what he did. Believe me, he's not. He should not have done what he did. But
What happened?
So what happened in this case is.
Oh, I forgot my coffee. Keep going.
Yeah, I know. You got to
It's
get.
okay.
Yeah.
It's audio forward, so it's.
Yes, we got to plug the coffee too.
Yes, we do.
So what happened in the Larry Henderson Act, and we did. I keep forgetting what actually passed in our last session in November and what didn't. I think this one hasn't yet passed, but it's pretty close. It'll be brought up again this year. But the Larry Henderson Act is named after a now deceased officer, Larry Henderson, who was a Cincinnati officer.
Okay.
And police officer. He actually had retired. Was getting ready to enjoy retirement. He was doing part-time work for the Hamilton County Sheriff's Office.
Okay.
And on this particular day, he was directing traffic for the University of Cincinnati's graduation ceremony.
Oh, nice.
Nice so far.
So far, yeah. I'm waiting for the turn.
Unfortunately, this gentleman whose son had been, I believe, shot and killed by the police about a day or two before that, and he was so mad and distraught that he decided he was going to get revenge on a cop.
Oh, no.
And he picked Larry, and in his car basically ran into him and killed him. So
That's
again,
sad.
really sad, really
Yeah.
tragic. And again, but not justified whatsoever. But when you hear that this, and I mean, somebody whose son is I don't know the underlying case, but the son either, whatever the case is, if somebody, as a parent, your son's killed by police, I understand where you'd be pretty livid for a day or two.
Yeah.
Obviously, we're a civilized society. We don't do
Can't
this.
do that. Yeah, you can't.
So anyways, so we have now where if a person the Larry Henderson Act still being debated, but it's moving its way through the process, is again if you know someone is an officer and they're acting as an officer.
Yes.
And you kill them, it's automatically life in prison.
Oh, wow.
Yes. So
That's
so
fair
they're
enough.
protected. So again, I'm fine with these protections on a case by case, referees, EMS workers, police.
I've been assaulted as an official before, and
Really?
yeah, like who cares?
Physical?
Physical, yeah. I had a dude. It was my first year ever officiating. This back in Philadelphia, and it was like the kids were 10 years old, and I guess the dad didn't like what I can't. They're 10. Can't imagine. Let's say I was 100% in the wrong, clear as day. I messed up on the ice. So we get off the ice, and I'm walking back to the locker room, and I feel like somebody bear hugging me trying to take me to the ground. I'm like, think it's a friend. I turn around, it's like a dad who's like starts screaming at me. You missed this. Fuck you. All this. Can't curse. Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh,
you're
okay.
fine.
Sick. Okay.
I just didn't know if it's okay for your show.
Yeah.
I'm fine
it's
with
okay.
it.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It's fine in this house.
Free speech, baby. There you go.
Shouldn't broadcast. It's okay in this house, but it is. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We don't want the kids.
So
but,
I don't
mean,
know.
Yeah.
I've heard other stories where friends of mine have had knives pulled on them in parking lots, followed out to their car.
Wow.
It's
like a national epidemic. Almost.
because it's like you watch the
crazy
soccer.
Parents.
Yeah, it is, and everybody thinks their kid's going to the NHL or the NBA or whatever your kid plays, and they're not, and it's our fault. So.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's why I get that one. I don't know. And then it can obviously go all the way to the point where it's extreme as someone loses their life just for directing traffic because, and I was talking to the episode that came out this morning, actually. We're recording this on a Monday. Representative Schlossberg in Pennsylvania.
Okay.
I get your names confused because obviously Synenberg, Schlossberg.
The Bergs. Yeah.
Oh, you haven't introduced yourself before yet. Do you want to?
That's true.
Do you want me to?
Whichever you prefer. I should probably do it.
You should probably do it.
It's me.
You can do it.
Yes. I'm Eric Synenberg. I am 46 years old. I'm married and I have 3 boys, one of whom you just met because I don't know why. He's supposed to be at school. He came home for lunch. Maybe he's sick. I don't know. Or he's just home for lunch.
Okay.
In any event, 3 boys. The dog, Lexi, they won't leave you alone. It's on you right now, but she's pretty nice. And I am a lawyer by background and training. Was on my local city council, as I mentioned earlier, for 7 years. Really like the idea of being a public servant and being involved in helping my community, being there for my community, whether it's just the constituent outreach, the recognition of residents when they do something special, the ideas for legislation and moving legislation, obviously voting for what I think the district wants me to vote for every time there's a piece of legislation up before us. Just the entire process, I actually enjoy. I'm one of those strange people that likes the process from A to Z.
Yeah.
Even the campaigning stuff, which can sometimes be tough, I don't mind. It's
I
part of
think
the process. It's part of the democratic process.
Yeah, it all is. It's all important.
So yeah, and I'll leave this in state rep for District 21 in Ohio, which is a small part of Cleveland, one neighborhood in Cleveland, Collinwood. And then I have 5 suburbs, which are Euclid, South Euclid, Lyndhurst, Beachwood, and University Heights.
Okay, right on.
I live in Beachwood. We're in Beachwood.
We're in Beachwood. It's a very nice neighborhood.
But thanks. The whole district is nice.
Yeah. Okay.
Like if we had more time, we could do a tour. But
okay.
So Euclid is probably the neatest city. I'm not just saying that because it's my biggest city and where most of my voters come from. But it actually
politicking already.
It actually is because it is it's really the only suburb on the east side of Cleveland in Cuyahoga County, in our county. Once you go west, more east, there's others. But in Cuyahoga County, close to Cleveland, in our county on the east side, it's the only city that's really on the lake and uses the lake.
Oh, okay.
There's one other village between Cleveland and Euclid called Bracknell that also does, yes. But Euclid's really, they call themselves the lakefront city. And people don't realize what a nice asset Lake Erie is. And if I showed you pictures of these streets in Euclid that are on the lake, as well as their boardwalk that they've done a great job building over the last several years, you would not think that you're in Ohio. You'd think you're somewhere on the coast.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Good.
It's awesome.
Good.
So, I have a great district.
Sick. That's awesome.
I'm sure every rep says that, but I really do.
You can say that about your own. I mean,
I'm saying it.
Would you not represent your own?
I'm definitely saying
where
it.
you represent. So
I'm definitely saying it.
There you go.
But yeah, Euclid is an area that before I ran for this seat, for whatever reason, that's just how people, you tend to go in certain areas. Like my areas where I grew up and tend to go especially because it's.
Did you grow up here as well?
Yes.
Okay, sick. Born and raised.
Like between here and downtown Cleveland, there's a few suburbs. And like those are the suburbs I grew up around and know more. Those are Shaker Heights and Cleveland Heights. And then University Heights and Beachwood, if you're driving out from Fairmount or Cedar out east.
Sure.
So, so Shaker Heights and Cleveland Heights, I've spent a lot more time in over the course of my life than I have in Euclid. Euclid is north, so there's not a ton of reason for me going downtown to ever go through Euclid. The freeway actually goes through Euclid, so I've done that plenty of times, but actually spending time in Euclid, I guess because again, I'm one of many that underappreciate the lake, or I used to, now I appreciate it more, but so my whole point in this being that that Euclid was sort of new to me when I decided to run for this seat in terms of really spending time there.
Oh, so then you had to spend time there, realized how awesome it was.
Yes.
And then here we are.
Yes.
Okay.
And now I'm like, when my kids are older and they're ready to move out of this house, I could see myself very happy in Euclid on one of those streets that ends at the end of the streets that ends at the lake, where they have this private beach club. All these streets have a private beach club
right on
the lake. It's just awesome.
What a pleasant suburbia.
Yeah.
Yes.
It
Okay.
is.
Should we
So,
talk?
anyways,
Should we talk about the issues of the day?
we probably should.
Okay. We don't have to. I mean, we can talk about whatever you want to talk about.
Well, the couple of interviews that I've heard that you did and that I prepped for this for. Listened to
you
your-
did prep?
Your prior one.
I feel honored.
Prepped.
Okay.
Prior interviews. They were, it was a good mix, but there was definitely a lot of policy.
Well,
You like policy, I can tell.
I
that's good.
I think people don't understand how important state level policy is, because everybody gets mad at politics and then they go straight to the president, and it's like, he actually doesn't impact your life as much as you do if you live in Beachwood.
Right.
You know
100%.
what I mean? Or like, mayors, city councils, like that's...
The more local, the more impact, honestly.
And we talk about...
And I will say this, I did say earlier that I, quote, moved up. Maybe I accidentally said to state rep, and I really mean this. I do not view that as moving up. Society does, but I don't. And in fact, I have struggled this year with not being on my city council and not being as in touch with what's happening here.
Because now you care about what happens in the state.
It's state, and I have 5 cities I represent. So I have to know a little bit about what's going on in every city, as opposed to a lot about what's going on in the one city that I represented, Beachwood.
Yes.
So it's been a little bit, there have been moments where I'm like, oh man, I wish I knew, or something that's happening that I didn't know about, that I just wish I knew about earlier, or whatever the case may be. So yeah, to your point, I totally agree that the local elected officials definitely have more of an impact on your day-to-day life.
All right, here's an oddball question for you. I want to get into this in depth, but I love doing the clickbaity titles. Why can't we open a dispensary within 500 feet of a church? That doesn't make sense. There's a provision, and we're going to talk about the weed law. For everybody that doesn't know, Ohio voters legalized recreational marijuana, and now there's a law in the state legislature that is trying to
undo some of that.
Undo some of that. It's legal. It's going to stay legal, but they're trying to undo some of that. One of the provisions in the law, which made no sense to me, was they listed you can only have up to 400 dispensaries in the entire state. You can't build within 500 feet of a school. That obviously makes sense. And then they listed churches. Why does Jesus not love weed? And why was synagogues not included in that list?
Well, I don't know the specific language. I assume and I would also say, is this from the ballot the ballot initiative that passed
No,
issue 2?
this is not from the ballot initiative. I saw this in the legislative bill that is moving through right
Senate
now.
Bill 56.
Yes, Senate Bill 56.
Okay. Because I'm pretty sure that the dispensaries aren't allowed to be within the 500 of schools or churches as well.
Yes. Oh, was that on the ballot? Oh, was that current?
That might have been part of issue 2. I think this.
Like,
I'll
why
say
are
this.
churches? Like, I don't get the church thing.
And I assume if it's churches, it means any place of worship. Does it not say places of worship?
It could.
I assume it's any place of worship.
Okay, we'll assume. We can assume. That's fair to say.
Honestly, I'm okay with that. I mean,
If you're okay with that, it's like...
does it really? I mean, it's nice to. I guess the point is this: let's have some limits. Okay, we're going to legalize it. Okay, we're going to have 400 around the state. Okay, but let's make it so that they're not every other storefront. Only 400. Or
Sure.
I know they have to be within, I think, a mile. You have to have a mile between each one.
Yes.
And schools and churches, I guess, those are still like the last remaining, Americana. I mean, not Americana even, just places where they should be held a little bit higher, and even if you are the biggest advocate for legalization of marijuana, of cannabis, then I think it's kind of like, all right, let's at least have the places of worship and schools have their little zone.
Okay, fair enough.
Okay,
I don't feel super strongly about this one.
I'm okay with that one, honestly.
Okay, all right, fair enough.
But Senate Bill 56.
Yeah, let's talk Senate Bill 56.
That just passed. I think every Democrat was a no.
Yes.
Both the House and Senate. So what happened here is the people of Ohio decided to have. We already had medical marijuana.
Yes.
Sorry, I've been told marijuana is an offensive term.
Why?
So,
what do you want to say? Weed?
What?
Ganja? Mary Jane?
No, it's just something. I don't know. Somebody said it. I try to say cannabis.
Oh, cannabis. Okay, we can say cannabis.
You
I'll
never
say
heard
whatever
that one?
you want.
Marijuana is offensive?
No, I've never heard
Okay.
that. Who's it offensive towards? There's always something that you're gonna offend
I don't
people
know.
with.
I'm.
You say cannabis.
I'm going with cannabis.
All right, we'll go with cannabis.
Weed or cannabis, right?
I love how the federal government smells it with an H, like as if anyone's marijuana, because the J is too not English for them,
Right.
for in a country that has no
Yes.
federal language. But whatever. All right, cannabis. Yes.
So so we've had since I believe 2014, 15, 16ish, medical has been legal in Ohio.
Yes.
Medical cannabis, and we've had dispensaries open for that purpose. So then in 2023, I believe, is when we passed on the ballot was issue 2.
Yes.
Which was a ballot initiative
Yes.
to allow cannabis to be sold at dispensaries throughout the state for recreational, adult use, recreational, not just for medical. It passed overwhelmingly, 57%.
Yeah, people want to get high.
Yes,
Okay.
they need that option. I mean, that option should be available as long as, again,
In a world where tobacco, gambling, and alcohol are legal, I see no reason why
yes,
weed can't
but
be.
to go back to one of your prior guests, the esteemed gentleman from Nebraska.
You love Hardin, huh?
Hardin.
I'm gonna text him that he has a fan in Ohio.
He was good. He was very. I thought he was thoughtful. He was good. He is against cannabis totally.
Totally outright.
I disagree. I am an advocate for licensed, regulated sales. But I mean, to his point, and I think you agree somewhat. I mean, ultimately, you're going to have people that this does do bad to.
Sure.
Same with alcohol. Same with tobacco.
I agree.
I mean,
Yes.
these are all deadly drugs.
And what I learned from
These are all
him,
deadly.
which
And they're deadly both long. They could be deadly long. Maybe not cannabis on the short-term side, meaning that you can't literally.
you can't OD from it.
Yeah. Although some people have said that you can.
I've never
that's
seen
really-
that. What I learned from Senator Hardin that I didn't know beforehand is it actually is addicting. That's been scientifically proven now. It is an addicting substance. People always said you're not actually addicted, but it's like something like 13% of people who use it regularly have a chemical dependency.
Sure.
To it. So fair enough. Okay, but what happened in Ohio?
So yeah, Ohio 57% passed it, but then because it was only passed as an initiative and not a constitutional amendment. That's the difference. They really messed up.
That's how they
should have done it
shot.
as a constitutional amendment
Got
where
it.
the legislature then can't come back and change it. But since it was only done as an initiative, our state legislature decided to come back through 4 different bills this past General Assembly this current General Assembly rather, the one we're in that started in 2025, 2-year General Assembly, and make changes. So obviously, advocates for adult use, those who believe that the people have already decided, technically, yeah, that's a technicality. The one argument is it's a technicality that it was an
legal
initiative
technicality
instead of a constitutional amendment.
Yes, legal technicality, which people don't understand. That's the problem.
So should the legislature still go in and change it? Well, the legislature has decided to change it. The vehicle, there were 4 different bills. The one that ended up going forward and passing the House and now has passed the Senate and gone to the governor, and the governor vetoed some things but signed the rest, meaning that 90 days from that signing, which will be, maybe in March, Senate Bill 56 will be the law. And so the dispensaries are really not impacted that much.
The ones that are already open and selling. Okay.
They're really not. The big thing, the big thing with Senate Bill 56 and the timing of it, I do think that, see, what happened is, obviously from the 2018 Farm Bill federally, hemp is now allowed to be sold.
In Ohio?
Everywhere. Well, the federal government, I think, is going to try to shut it down at the end of 26.
Didn't they? I thought that went into inaction on the 1st of January 2026.
I mean, I don't think it goes until to the end of 26.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But that's not a final federal thing.
I thought it was. I thought it went in because
I don't know. It gets confusing. It gets confusing.
You're not expected to be an expert on federal laws.
But bottom line is that under the Senate Bill 56, see, everyone agreed, Democrats and Republicans in Ohio, the majority at least, of us in the legislature agreed that we had to do something about the hemp, because the hemp is where you have unregulated cannabis being sold. We don't know where it's made, how strong it is. Some of it's been marketed.
What's the problem with that?
Some of it's marketed to kids.
Okay, that's bad. Fair enough.
Looking like it's a candy bar or something.
Oh.
So, and they really, these places that sell it got so bad that places were selling it on every street corner. It would say smoke shop, but then they'd also sell hemp, whether that's CBD or there's all these different variations, Delta 8, Delta 9, whatever. But, and unlike the dispensaries that are regulated by the state, where they card you to make sure you're 21 before you enter, double doors. I mean, there's stuff, they're really well regulated. And taxed, by the way.
Yeah.
So the state gets their
Always got to get your cut.
Right. So unlike the cannabis dispensaries, these hemp, these smoke shop hemp places were kind of like the Wild West. I mean, you had kids that weren't being carded going in, buying the candy looking hemp.
Sure.
And were there tons of kids overdosing? We don't think so. But I just don't think
no, obviously
we don't want that.
Any reasonable person can see the problem with that. The whole point of this
initiative issue 2 was for it to be regulated, limited,
taxed.
I mean the 400 limit, and to have some barriers around it. And we ended up getting to this Wild West place. So some of the changes were needed.
Oh, okay.
In 56. And we, most of us, Democrats and Republicans, agreed. What happened ultimately, though, with 56 is it went too far.
What did they do that went too far?
The main thing that we were concerned about was a lot of the decriminalization that had happened had been recriminalized.
Oh.
For example, if you go to Michigan and buy, because it's a lot cheaper there because they have more dispensaries, supply and demand. A lot of Ohioans go to Michigan to buy it.
And they bring it
back.
here. That's
now illegal.
Oh, that's dumb. Or you like that?
No, that's dumb.
Oh, okay, that is
dumb.
Okay,
that's
cool.
the criminalization.
Because if that's
one part of it.
If it's legal, it should be legal. That's like that's the whole thing. Like why are we just creating extra burdens on the jails and the criminal justice system?
Exactly.
Well, it makes no sense.
Exactly.
You're just, it's fine if I give you money for it, but if I go like that's feels like middle school bullying almost.
There's all these technicalities now. Some types of sharing are considered are criminalized now. What else? There's several that so we Democrats were all opposed to this, and the governor actually, to his credit, he knew that the bad hemp needed to be controlled and regulated and cut out.
Why not just throw that in there and make it the same and you're done pretty much? Just add an extra word.
With what?
Well, like with the hemp, like if the hemp and the CB and the Delta 8 and all that stuff is, if that's bad, just make one big category called the cannabis category and have everything fall under that same rules apply across the board.
Well, what we were hoping is that the hemp would be regulated and it would be allowed to be sold as long as it was tested and that there were licenses given out to legitimate businesses and that those businesses knew that their license would be taken away if they didn't card everybody over 21. The way that these cannabis dispensaries currently are doing it the right way and are, obeying Ohio law and doing it the way that even the advocates on issue 2, intended it to be set up. So that's what we were hoping for, that there'd be the cannabis dispensaries and you'd also maybe have the hemp dispensaries. They'd be limited in number, regulated, taxed, et cetera, as opposed to every, going up and down Mayfield Road here or at Mentor Avenue in Mentor where, every other block you have another one of these. And some of them gas stations or smoke shops are for sure. We know anecdotally, they were selling to underage, certainly under 21, maybe even under 18.
Wait, so but I'm confused. In the end, what, like, where are we going?
So the governor went, I think that they went, 56 outlawed all hemp, basically. It didn't allow for a separate licensure process for the hemp. Oh,
it just said, outlawed. We're not doing that.
And then the governor made it even worse, in my opinion, and went too far because what a new niche market and kind of thing that I'm sure you're familiar with because it's mostly your age, that this affects and that is contributing to this market, this interesting market change is people from 21 to 30 right now are drinking less alcohol than ever.
Oh yeah, we sure are.
Healthier than ever, drinking less than ever, working out more, eating healthier, all those things, right? But to your point, I think you said this earlier, people do want to get high sometimes or intoxicated.
Well, because I can get high after work and watch a movie and wake up fine and I'm ready to go for my 6 a.m. workout. I cannot do that with gin.
Right, yes. But the hemp beverages have become a thing. I don't know if by you they have.
Well, where I live, it's very illegal, and
the whole thing's illegal.
The whole thing's illegal. Okay. Medical, recreational. I have a question for you on that. Too.
But here, let me get back 1 second. So in Ohio, there's been this whole new industry of these craft.
I love the beverages.
Craft breweries and hemp beverage makers, and we all visited. Cuyahoga County delegation that represents Cuyahoga County went to visit one of the factories, if you will, in Cleveland, that it's one of the largest in the country.
Ooh.
You talk about economic development. They make the drinks both for here and they sell them all over. They bottle for other companies. They have a whole operation, tested, everything's, legit. And the governor vetoed the part of the bill that would have, there was an exception for hemp beverages to still be sold at bars and restaurants if it was, I think, 5 milligrams per serving.
That's reasonable for most people.
Yeah, maybe it was 5 or 10. I think it was 5 on site, but you could buy one there to drink off site, 10 milligrams per serving.
I've seen the ones there's 100 per bottle. I have a couple friends that can drink a couple of those. I'd go to Mars, but
yeah, exactly. But to your point from that prior interview, and it's true, everybody's different. You give 10 people 10 the same thing, they're gonna all react differently.
Yep.
And some people actually do have that kind of.
It makes some people straight up schizophrenic. Like
it makes some people less schizophrenic.
Yeah, and then it's weird.
We had people testify before us who were former hard drug users and alcoholics who said that this has been my savior. And I now have a normal life. I work every day. I work out every day. But I do use cannabis every day. So it's different for everybody. But the whole point being that the governor actually vetoed the exception for the hemp beverages. So in whatever the 3 months from the date of signature of that, we're no longer these bars and restaurants are going to not be able to sell hemp beverages anymore. And that was a huge revenue source for them.
Oh, wow.
So the bottom line is I believe we still need to go back to the table and figure everything out.
Rework
especially with these beverages. Could we override that? I don't know if we could override his veto of that. That's something that maybe could happen. I don't know if there's enough pressure.
So there's still hope for the people.
I don't know if there's enough. Well, the people that want hemp beverages to be people that want to consume or sell hemp beverages.
Okay.
There's hope for them if we were to veto it. But now there's discussion of getting signatures on a referendum, which I think they need 250,000 valid signatures of Ohioans. And they also have to make sure they have a certain number of signatures in 44 of our 88 counties and half of our counties.
Oh, okay.
But that it would be a referendum that would be on the ballot sometime in the fall, probably in the November election, when we have elections this year, that would actually go back and strike Senate Bill 56 and go back to the old system.
I now have a better picture of what the weed thing in Ohio is.
It's still in flux.
So,
I think it needs to be further developed. But the hemp thing nationally is interesting because, again, the federal government, you and I sort of disagreed. Is it current? Is it now the law, or will it be law end of 26? But at some point in 26, hemp is going to, unless the federal government at Congress, unless Congress reverses.
Well, why would they reverse it? They did.
Hemp is going to be, which is all people don't realize hemp is like the CBD creams that grandmas put on their.
Yeah.
Those, I believe, are going to be now outlawed.
And it's all because people the alcohol lobby wants us all to get drunk instead. And
it is.
Originally.
Well, from what I heard, this is Mitch McConnell, Senator, Kentucky, which obviously is the king of
Turtle Man.
Of bourbon.
Yes.
The Kentucky, the bourbon industry.
Which is, what do you think about the county where they make Jack Daniels is a dry county? Do you know that?
No, but maybe that's because they know how harmful it actually is, right?
Oh, I mean, that's much more reasonable.
It's like the same thing where like a drug kingpin from the 80s, let's say crack, when crack was,
can't get high off your own supply.
Well, not only not get high, but I bet these guys that were smart enough and saw how bad
can't get loose
and
off
addictive
your own juice.
and destructive it was. If one of their kids was using it, they'd go nuts.
Oh yeah.
And they wouldn't use it because they've seen how bad it is. So maybe these people that were making the whiskey, the bourbon back in the day, as they're mixing it and they're watching people drink it, after hours or maybe on the clock, whatever, and they see how bad it is, maybe they're like, oh my God, we can't allow this to be sold here. This is horrible. Because back, again, I am for legalization. I'm not saying we should outlaw tobacco or alcohol or marijuana. Other drugs, we're not going to get into that now.
Okay. Do you do drugs?
I don't do drugs. I will be very upfront. I am prescribed drugs for psychiatric drugs.
Oh, okay.
For anxiety.
Oh, right on. Well,
So,
legal is another thing that weed helps a lot of people with.
It does, except for me, it doesn't really help because I have used it before. I'm not a big fan. And sometimes
it's not for everybody.
It's just not for everybody. Yes. And so, you got to really tinker with the amount. Like sometimes you'll think you just might have a little bit of a gummy and just to chill out and it'll be too much.
And the gummies affect people different than the smoking
Yes.
does. And that affects people different than the concentrates, and all of it's different. So it's like.
So I'm very upfront and honest with, like on mental health stuff, that I have anxiety. I have some OCD. You may be able to tell from our conversation. No comment. You don't have to comment.
Okay, I won't comment.
But I'm very upfront about that, and I think we need. I haven't done a lot so far this year in this space, but I do want to do more as I move through my career in the mental health space, and making sure that people who need mental health care get it.
Can we talk about doing more for a second? Not directly related to mental health, but just you guys, you are a Democrat in Ohio, one of 33 Democratic reps. You're in a super
34.
minority. 34, sorry. Thank you. Yeah. There you go. You're in a super minority, though. Point still stands. How the hell can you do more or get anything done? Like, do you ever, why do you even go to work?
Well, first of all, our district, by law, and by right, the people of our district have a right to have somebody representing them in Columbus. Our district's here about 120,000 residents. So the 120,000 residents of this district, 21, that I mentioned the cities earlier, they deserve to have someone. And it's still an honor and a privilege for me as someone who believes in the good of government and the good of politics and public service that it can do. And I've seen it do good. I'm still inspired to go there and to vote and to do my part and to help my constituents and to recognize my constituents, to do a good job.
Is it ever
to
frustrating,
speak to
though?
students. And I will say this, about 75% of what we pass is bipartisan.
Oh, wow.
The majority
Good
of
for you
our
guys.
bills is bipartisan. It's oftentimes something that is not political. It's maybe just a small fix to the wording in some bill that
okay.
oftentimes a constituent will go to their representative and say, hey, this is happening in my life because of this bill. Can you help me fix it? Or my friend lives in New Jersey. This is how they do it. Why do we do it our way? Their way's better.
Oh, and then you look at it.
Okay. And then we look at, wow, 35 states do this. We should be one that does it.
And then you guys fix it. That
Yes.
seems extremely
bipartisan.
productive, actually.
Usually you'll be able to get a Republican and a Democrat as joint sponsors. Or it'll be amended if it's only Republican sponsors or only Democrat. It'll be amended through you'll get joint sponsors, you'll get co-sponsors who are of the other party, and it'll be amended. And by the time it gets to the House floor, it's good. It's a good piece of legislation. And it ends up being, 90-5 when it's voted on.
Oh, wow. Well, there was one thing
majority.
that I saw that one person voted against. Like, what's that guy doing? I forget. I wish I knew what it was, but when I was looking up everything that you guys
We've had
have
a couple.
passed,
We've had a couple.
Why you shitting in everyone else's milk?
We've had a couple that there's been, it was like, it's never 99 because not everybody's there. Somebody's always sick. Usually there's between 91 and 95 of us, let's say, give or take, there for each session. You always have between 4 and 8 people pretty much absent. So these votes end up being like 92-2 or like 85-8.
Yeah.
There's been a couple that have been won. One that comes to mind directly and immediately is we passed a resolution to honor the new Pope because he's the first American Pope ever.
Yeah.
And that got one no vote.
Who?
I know who. I don't want to get into it now. But,
okay.
There's apparent, we're both Jewish, so we don't get into the papacy and the Pope stuff and the different forms of Christianity. I just worry about,
there's some guy that didn't like Christian people or something?
Well, no, Christian, but doesn't believe that that we should honor
Protestant guy.
Catholics, something like that.
Okay.
Yeah. So that, yeah. But there's oftentimes one that'll, and they have their own reasons. I do believe all of my colleagues are there for pretty much the right reasons.
That's good to say.
Pretty much the right reasons.
Pretty much the right reasons. Okay. I have a question for you as a lawyer. You're not my lawyer, and I'm not looking for legal advice, but just a general law question, if you don't mind.
Sure.
I can pay you your rate if you. I'm sure actually I can't. I'm
No,
sure I can't afford it.
No, it's not that high. No, but listen, we're good.
All right,
just go ahead and ask.
Well, this is okay. Cool. I don't know how much of the podcast you've listened to in the past. I've been arrested. I'm a criminal. I got arrested for smoking weed in Wyoming. That's how I knew it was super illegal there. Thought like nobody would care. Turns out they do care.
And what was the punishment?
Misdemeanor, $450 fine. That wasn't the real punishment. The real punishment is what happened in the aftermath of that. So this isn't related to my question, but long story short, I love camping, tried to get a gun for bear defense. Got denied because I'm defined by the federal government as a drug addict because I have a drug-related criminal conviction on my record. You can follow the logic there. And since I got the firearm denial, now that's on my record. I tried to go into Canada. When I came back, I got flagged at the border for the firearm thing because the weed thing. I'm on like every list in the book now. Bad situation turned worse. Can't go to the EU. Got denied a visa for UK. Like. Wow. I got high at a basketball game. I should be allowed to go visit my sister who lives in London. If you ask me.
I agree.
My state disagrees. Here we are.
I agree. Move to Ohio.
There you go.
That is crazy that happens in 2025 in the United States. And,
it is.
But the thing that you hit on, which is something that I have a colleague in particular from Akron, Rep. Sims, Veronica Sims. This is big for her. Because I'm the ranking member in the Judiciary Committee. So I'm now the top Democrat in the Judiciary Committee.
Congratulations.
Thank you. It sounds bigger than it is. There's only 4 of us in the committee, and the other people have other responsibilities, so it kind of fell on me. But it is an honor. I do like it. It's a very busy committee. There's a lot there, so it's good though. So she's reached out to me and said, we need to do work on these collateral sanctions. What happened to you after the fact. Yeah. These are collateral sanctions, meaning you're already done. You've done the time, if you will. You paid the fine. You've moved on. You're trying to move on with your life, yet you can't get a gun and you can't go to Canada because of this.
Yeah, I can't go.
Directly-
Canada has no problem
Oh,
with me. The
coming
U.S.
back
has
in.
a problem
Right,
coming
you
back.
can't come back.
And I can't go to the EU
You
or the
can't-
UK.
right. So these are all collateral sanctions,
Uh-huh.
meaning you're being sanctioned now further for the rest of your life. And if it was a more serious crime, it would be types of jobs you couldn't get, types of licenses, et cetera. So there's in Ohio, there's over 1,000 of these
Oh wow.
that are
Things that are affected.
and and the goal would be that there'd be some pathway to have people that once they do the time, they are, they're back into society, that they don't have any more.
Are you working on anything like that right now?
There's,
Or is anybody?
yeah, a little bit, but we haven't really. There's stuff out there. It's we need to do more. For 100%, we need to do more, and that's something that needs to happen, whether it's this year or in the future. We need more bills to do that.
Illinois just passed one
Did
called the Second Chance Act, and
Okay.
6 months after any misdemeanor conviction, it's sealed.
Really?
Yes. Which I like in principle. I think they went overboard with it.
Right.
Here's why. I'm curious actually on your thoughts.
They may be. I mean, it's.
There's no limit. I could have my 15th misdemeanor domestic violence charge, and it's like the first one again on the 16th. Like at some point, I'm a wife beater. At some point,
Right.
I'm a thief.
Yeah.
And
Well, Ohio's-
you know what I mean?
Our legislature's
I
back.
like this. Trust me, I want a second chance myself.
Right.
But
right.
you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, we're balanced enough as a legislature, probably. To the other, Illinois is a Democratic state, so that's probably
Yeah,
why that
very.
passed. That's not
You
happening
guys are not.
here anytime soon. That's just the political reality of it. But I think there's room for certain stuff, especially when it comes to workforce and people being able to work, because that's
Yeah. Well, and
employers need employees, and employees
Uh-huh.
need to get paid. And the more we pay people that are formerly incarcerated, the less likely it is that they're going to.
Recidivism is 86% nationwide.
Yep.
That's-
The less likely. And in fact, I was talking to a guy last week, unrelated to this, but about manufacturing in this program that he's part of within manufacturing, because Cleveland is a big manufacturing town. Ohio actually per capita is the biggest manufacturing state in the country, believe it or not, per capita. I think we're third or fourth overall. But per capita, per person, we are the #1 manufacturing state in the country.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Good for you guys.
So yes. So he has a program where people that have done his program that are formerly incarcerated, they go through the training, they get jobs in manufacturing businesses. The recidivism rate is like 10%.
Oh, wow.
So he wants to expand that statewide maybe.
That'd be cool.
And that's something that's
I mean, when you
under
look at the
surface.
numbers, but it doesn't seem like you guys look at the numbers very often. I'm not blaming you. I'm blaming the organization you work for. You guys seem like you're doing a lot of stuff that is not in the best interest of Ohioans. What do you have to, now your turn.
Yeah, well, I mean, data and stats are important, but at the same time, they can be used both ways. Oftentimes, there's always, this side says this, but this side says this.
Yeah, I like to look at you guys as a team. I don't know if you guys look at that way, but yeah, without us and theming, that's why I said you.
Yeah.
In the proverbial editorial you sense.
Yeah, I think that.
Why are you guys doing that?
Well, do you have specific issues or just in general?
I have.
Do you have Senate Bill 1, the anti-diversity, anti-DEI, higher education bill?
Yep, Senate Bill
Yes.
1's a big issue for me. The stuff you guys are trying to, the abortion stuff bothers me. The anti-gay stuff bothers me. Just like, also the voter rights, making it harder for people to vote. Like that is clearly not in the interest of.
We only have one drop box per county, no matter how big your county is.
Yeah. I wanted to ask
Georgia has in some of their more populated counties have 100 or hundreds, I think.
Yeah, so why examples of all of these things, it seems like these are not in the best interest of the people that you guys represent, yet it still happens.
Right. Well, I'm on your side on all these issues. So I agree with you. If it's up to me, we would be voting no on these voter
And that's what's tough.
on these voter restriction bills.
Yeah.
So to your point, and I said earlier, 75% of our bills are bipartisan. The 25% that aren't bipartisan are oftentimes these bigger picture, bigger ticket items like LGBTQ rights, abortion, women's rights, DEI, voters' rights.
Yeah. Some of them just don't even make sense. Like, you can't have tampons in a men's bathroom anymore. When has there ever been to begin with? That's dumb.
Right.
Some of them are like the voter shit. Like you mandatory IDs now, or like the vote. Yeah, like past election day. Even if it was sent in, it doesn't count.
Now it has to be sent in and postmarked.
Like those ones are the ones that really
it has to be
matter.
received by election day. It used to be that there was a 4-day grace period starting this year. I don't know if it would be the primary or the general, but definitely by the general this year, November has to be. But I actually to those who say, oh, this is anti-voting and we're cutting down. To me, it's like, all right, and you might like this because of your pro-cannabis, pro-marijuana, whatever we're calling it, pro-weed standpoint.
Okay.
And you know the significance of 420. It's like the smoking time.
And it's a holiday for some.
Yes. So I want to make 1020 a holiday in Ohio.
Oh, voting day?
For if you are doing an absentee ballot and voting by mail.
Yeah.
1020 is the day that you should get that thing in to the post office.
What is there significance?
There's no significance, but it's about 2 weeks out from election day.
Okay, it's
and most mail, if you send it 2 weeks, not all mail, but the vast majority of mail. Sometimes mail does take a couple weeks, but the vast majority of mail, if you send it on, in this case on October 20th, it's going to be there by November 3rd or 4th, whatever the election day this year is. So I think we should actually use that to our advantage. Say they're trying to suppress our votes and make it where we can't. We have to have it now. It has to be received by election day. Fine, we'll do it. We'll comply. Let's get these things in early. If you can't vote in person and you're doing vote by mail, get it, request it, get it in early, and make sure by 1020 it's out.
Okay,
and we should make 1020 should be a big day this year in Ohio.
I agreed, heard, but that was not the question that I asked respectfully.
Okay.
Please speak for your Republican colleagues, or if there's Democratic colleagues. Why are you guys not representing the people you represent well enough? At least I'm not from here, so I'm not going to come in and say you guys are doing a shit job, whatever. You guys do, you do you. But with the research that I've done, it does not seem like the state legislator.
Yeah. Well,
acts in the best
the real
interest.
reason is this: because we're not a true. I mean, this might be a little far, but hey, I'll go with it.
We're here.
Our state right now is not a true constitutional, by the Constitution, is not a true democracy. Meaning, just by the numbers, I'm not naming any one individual rep, but just as a group, Ohio's about 50, it is a little more Republican than Democrat now. I actually think it's less than people think it is, but we have to go by the numbers. The rules are that we have to go by the last 10 years worth of statewide and national elections in Ohio to get these numbers. It's 55-45, okay? So it's 11 to 9, right? We have 99 reps. It should be, if it was done fairly and based on that, it would be 55-44. And in the Senate, if it was done fairly, it would be whatever that comes down to. I think it's 18-15. To get to 54, maybe 19, 14.
If it was done fairly by, you mean if 100% of people voted?
If the boundary lines were drawn fairly.
Gerrymandering.
This is all gerrymandering and redistricting. Gerrymandering and redistricting. So what I'm saying is that we should have 18-15 in the Senate, where we actually have 24-9. It was actually 26-7 last GA. Our Senate was 78% Republican. Now it's 72%. A little better. But it should be 55-45. So what I'm saying is, I've never said this before, but I'm breaking ground here.
Whoa, okay. You heard it here first on the Middle of Nowhere Cast.
Without naming specific names of any one legislator or another, I'm saying that I have colleagues in the Senate and in the House who, just based on the data and the facts, there's nothing personal to any of them. This is just facts. This is me being as honest as I can possibly be.
Please,
to your question.
That's what we should all do.
They are illegitimately there. They're illegitimately there. They've cheated to get there. Not maybe individually, but through the system.
The system has cheated to put them in the position they're in. Yeah.
And therefore, when you see the state is 60% or whatever it is in favor of women's rights and having women having the right to choose to have an abortion, that's why you'll see things that could potentially pass 60% the other way to limit that, because the numbers aren't reality.
So,
But then when they go back every 2 years to get reelected, and there should be consequences, there aren't, because their district is not really fair.
skewed one way or the
It's
other
skewed
way.
their way, and they know they're going to be reelected.
Okay, then let's put
So-
rubber to pavement here. I live in Ohio. What can I do about it? If I see that and I hear this and I'm like, oh my God, he's so right. I want to do something. What do I do?
So
to
we
change
had a ballot initiative last year that would have created an independent and fair redistricting commission that would have done all of our lines fairly.
it? Yeah. How'd that go?
It failed.
Ah.
But it wasn't fair.
Oh.
It failed because the Secretary of State, who's a Republican, Frank LaRose, has the ability under the law to change the ballot language and make it through the ballot board how he or she
shifty.
wants to.
That is shady.
So they made it so long and confusing, and they know that when there's a long and confusing bill, if somebody doesn't know for sure, they're going to be more likely to vote no. That's like a psychological fact.
Yeah, that makes sense to me.
This thing was so long, and I think it went like 1.5 pages even. So that most people that didn't know for sure. I mean, those of us who are paying attention and are really into it, of course we know. We're voting yes for this. This is redistricting. Because the polls show that the majority of Ohioans want redistricting. Like 70%. Fair districts.
Then
No more gerrymandering.
What's the...
But through these mechanisms, he was able to get enough people to be confused that they actually wanted to vote yes, but they voted no. And it failed. So we need to get that on the ballot again. At this point, though, it's the timing thing, because redistricting is next going to be in 2032 for state and federal districts.
Okay.
So I think that the key is to get that on the ballot in 2028 or 2029 so that you have enough time for the legal process, which will inevitably ensue after, to play out, and for there to actually be this independent commission set up by 2032.
Wow.
By the way, I would also add, do we even need an independent commission?
You shouldn't.
Can't we just, can't somebody plug in, here's Ohio's population. Here's the numbers, 55, 44, or maybe by then it'll be 52, 47, who knows? We have 99 rep seats, 33 Senate seats, 15 congressional seats. Can't somebody just plug that into AI and let AI draw it?
Yeah, let's do it. ChatGPT got it.
Right?
What are you doing?
Let that do it.
Okay.
That's fair,
So...
right? We all use AI and agree AI is good. Let's let AI come up with our lines, and that's it. No humans involved.
Here's the catch.
Because that's fair.
Assuming you're still serving the people in 2028, 2029. If I was living here, you got my vote, whatever. Okay, cool.
Okay, thanks.
I like you so far. You're straightforward and honest. It seems like, oh God, I got to reset my camera if we're going to keep
Go ahead,
going.
let's do a third one. Jackie, who's my legislative aide, who...
She's awesome. I talked to her on the phone.
Yeah, she's great.
Love
She's
her.
great legislative aide. She helped set this up, and everything was the conduit between us before we actually met
Yes.
earlier today.
I love that word, by the way.
She might not like that I said that we have, without naming names, still the fact that I said that there are illegitimate representatives and senators just based on the numbers.
Oh, what? You'll make the news. People will get mad, but those are going to be the same people that already got mad.
Listen, I'm not naming names. I'm
Well,
just saying
because you're
overall.
saying it's not an individual. You're not coming at anybody's character. You're just saying
the
that
numbers.
objectively
Yeah,
the
correct.
system is away. And I think there should be nothing wrong with that in a society that encourages
Correct.
free debate.
I'm not saying to any of them, but if I had all 65 of my Republican colleagues lined up in front of me,
Okay, here's the
I
question.
could say to them as a group, there should only be 55 of you. So you guys can fight amongst yourselves, but 10 of you should not be here.
Who's on the chopping block? Names, look directly into the camera. No,
Yeah, right.
I'm
No,
kidding.
no.
Okay, so here's my question. You're still in power in 2029. How are you going to fix your messaging problem? Because maybe it's a hill too steep to climb over, but let's say the Secretary of State changes the language again. You guys seem to, now I'm saying you guys as in Democrats, seem to have a very big messaging problem if you can't get people to understand that this is...
Well,
I'm allergic to peanuts, and I'm being convinced to eat peanuts.
correct.
It's like, should be a simple
That's what happened
formula.
with the redistricting amendment last year. What
Yeah.
you just said. So here, well, first steps first. If we get, there's two, I've endorsed, but I'm not going to, there are two good candidates running for Secretary of State on the Democratic side right now. Whoever wins the primary, I will be endorsing and supporting in the general election in November. I've already supported and endorsing one of them in the primary, although they're both good just because it's Allison Russo is her name. She's one of my colleagues, and she was our minority leader up until this summer when she resign because once you go statewide, you can't be in leadership. So she had to resign because she was going to be announcing her statewide race.
Okay.
I've endorsed her because she's my colleague and she's been very good to me, and she's somebody that I look up to as a leader and as a mentor. But she's running against a very good candidate, another guy. He's a doctor. His name's Brian Hambly, who's impressive. Unfortunately, they're both running in the same race, so I had to pick one. I picked Allison. But anyways, one of them will win the primary and be facing, I think it's probably this guy, Robert Sprague is the guy's name, who is going to be probably the Secretary of State candidate on the Republican side. So if we can win that race, then in 2029, the ballot language will be able to make it fair.
Assuming you don't, what are you going to do?
Then obviously there's going to have to be better messaging about, depending on how the ballot language ends up being written, you have, if you want, if you want fair districts, you have to vote this way, yes or no. There just needs to be better messaging.
That's what I'm saying. Like how
better messaging, and just like I said, I mean, like kind of like the 10-20 thing for this year. I don't know if we're going to actually pick up on that and make 10-20 like
it's
our own
catchy. I like it. 10 times 2 is 20.
You know, 10,
Ohio
20.
seems
That's
like the
your
number
day.
10.
You got to get these things in this year, or else it might not count. Like, will it actually count if it's nailed later? Maybe, but if you want to be really, really safe,
if you want to be sure,
because we had the Secretary of State this was in a committee. This was this bill that made it shorter and that made it that you have to have it in by election day, no more grace period. Was in one of the committees that I'm in, General Government. Secretary of State was there, so I asked him point blank. He was advocating for this. I said, "So what do we tell our constituents now, if we know it has to be in? There's no more grace period." And his answer to me was, "I would tell people that they need to play it safe. You should mail your ballots in 10 days early. 10 days." He said 10. So 10-20 is pretty close.
There you go. Oh, okay. Yeah, I like it. I like it then. Sweet. All right. Well, that's really my problem with Democrats nationwide on every level and in every state is that they suck at messaging. Like, if the only tell me if I'm wrong, please. But the only two things are sure to me in politics. One, Republicans are going to try and fuck us up. Two, Democrats are going to let them. And I'm trying to find a way.
Here's the issue.
Yeah.
So we need more we need people that are fighters more?
Not like that. I mean, don't roll over. Federal shutdown. We'll get federal for a second. Federal shutdown. It's all Democrats like healthcare. We got a healthcare. This is just gonna screw everybody over. Your healthcare prices are gonna go up. Shutting everything down. Everybody's out of a job. Republicans are whatever. They're like we're not budgeting. The Democrats. I was like, okay. Why is this shutdown continuing? I already know how this is going to end. If one thing's for certain, the Democrats are going to cave and nothing's going to change. And that seems to be always what happens. Always what happens.
Sort of, but what's interesting, because they voted last week at the House on the Affordable Care Act, on that part of it, the health care.
I didn't know.
It did pass.
What happened? Oh. 17
Republicans voted with the Democrats so that it did pass.
I'm sure mine
to
did
continue
not.
Affordable Care Act.
Oh, okay.
The problem is it might not get to the Senate. The problem is the Senate apparently is not taking it up. They're majority Republican, and even if they pass it, presumably the president would veto it.
Mm-hmm. It's like that.
So it's kind of
here we are. My health
dead.
insurance.
But I think the fact that 17 Republicans voted with the Democrats on continuing, quote, Obamacare, Affordable Care Act.
Just the subsidies or the whole thing? Because I don't
know. But I think the fact that you got 17 to do that shows that those 17, and probably more should have, honestly, knows politically that they're in trouble.
Yeah.
And they're going to be blamed for the shutdown. They're going to be blamed for the higher cost of insurance that many folks are going to be now facing this year. Not to mention everything else that's happened out of the federal government since January 20th, 25, when this president was sworn in, which is, the federal government's been a total almost like chaos and anarchy. People have lost their jobs, benefits. I mean, everything. The whole list. Mm-hmm. I don't have all everything memorized, but the whole list of what this administration has done in the last year that's created more havoc within our country than any president's ever done in their first year.
Yeah, it seems.
In terms of
people are finally starting to get pissed off enough. Like at Wyoming, no state voted for Trump in higher proportion than Wyoming did in the election.
Yeah.
And people, I'm now noticing, at least in my town, are starting to get pissed off because they just got their health care bill, or they're a rancher and the price of beef that just got fucked over because we wanted to give our business, America First business to Argentina. Like, people are finally starting to wake up a little bit. Not enough, unfortunately, to change anything in Wyoming, in my opinion. But people are starting to say enough is enough, which I think is good.
Yes.
I forget what we were talking about. We've lost the plot. I've lost the plot.
Well, you had asked about why is it that Ohio, if the majority of Ohioans think one way, why does the legislature act
and then we got into messaging
another way?
And then,
and so again, I pointed to, of course, gerrymandering, which is really, a form of cheating. Mm-hmm. And it's cheating, our state, our voters.
Would you say the same thing if?
By the way, just to be clear, in other states, because I know if some Republican's going to find out I did this, and they're going to say, "Oh, I heard you said this, Eric," and you're being a hypocrite because the Democrats do it too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask.
And that I don't deny that in others. I mean, I've seen other states. Like I think Maryland is one, for example, where I think 7 of their 8 congressional people are Democrats. When the state's like, I mean, it is more Democrat, but it's kind of like Ohio, 55-45, maybe 60-40. I don't know, whatever it is. They should have Republican reps. They've done it there too. And again, I would say to them and their people, just do freaking AI. Can't AI really, I don't even use AI, to be honest. It's not that I don't trust it or like it. I'm always a late adapter. So I don't even use AI. But except for if you consider when you Google something and it comes up with AI answers, I use that, of course. But other than that, I don't use ChatGPT or whatever.
The problem with it is that it makes shit up and it hallucinates.
Correct.
And then it also just gets stuff wrong sometimes, and it doesn't tell you when it.
Correct. But I think in this case there'd be some review before.
Well, yeah, you need it's really good with a human check after.
But I do think that whether it's AI or quantum computing or whatever you want to call it, there's got to be a way that we can really get better districts, and it has to be done in every state, or else.
So would you be in favor
party
of,
will be able to point
of
to
the
the other
federal
one and
guys
say,
doing this?
I don't care who does it as long as it's fair.
As long as okay.
I'm being honest.
Yeah, right on. Well, because it's the will of the people should prevail, but it's not.
It's typically done state by state. So,
yes.
But the problem is whoever's controlling that state, those lawmakers do it to benefit their party.
Yeah.
And
everybody wants the power.
It's so I don't care about other states. I'm an Ohio state rep. I care about other states, but I'm only elected to represent and to work on Ohio issues.
Yes.
So I can't worry about Maryland or California if they do something unfair with gerrymandering or.
California just did. Texas just did. Indiana just did. Were they at least?
No, Indiana didn't. I think.
They voted against that.
They voted against doing
that's
new
good
districts.
news.
Yeah.
That's.
And in Ohio, we ended up with a decent deal. I mean, it's 10-5 right now in terms of our federal representation. We had a redistricting just for the federal this year, court ordered, and some of the Republicans were saying that they wanted to push it all the way to 12-3 or even 13-2.
It's crazy to me that
we ended up sort of settling on a map that's pretty not much change from the current one. That is arguably, in a good year in 26, will keep us at 10-5 with our federal representation in Congress. 10 Republicans, 5 Democrats.
Like the fact that you can just say, okay, I'm gonna based on these maps and I know who's gonna win the elections. Like that's crazy to me in a democracy where everybody gets a say.
Right. I mean, you're gonna have my district is 75% Democratic. Mm-hmm. But no matter how you draw it, this is Cuyahoga County. We're all Democrats. I mean, we're majority Democrats throughout the county. Yeah. So no matter how, if you take Euclid out and added Cleveland Heights, I'd actually probably be more Democratic. Oh. If you took, University Heights out and added Pepper Pike, it would be pretty much unchanged. I mean, so it's not. I mean, as far as me being a hypocrite and saying this is undemocratic, some of these other districts. I mean, other districts actually are gerrymandered. Cuyahoga County, you really can't gerrymander it because no matter which way you go here, it's going to still be Democrat.
I have a question because I'm curious. The 25% of people that didn't vote for you, what do they like about you?
21% technically.
Oh, okay.
Excuse me. I think it's 75%, but
then 4% didn't vote or however.
My results last time were 79-21 in the general election.
Oh, okay. What do people not like about you?
Who knows? Maybe they know me and they don't like me. Maybe
What do you mean? Who knows? Yeah, I feel like
maybe they. I mean, we we have 25% of our voters who are registered are Republicans.
Mm-hmm.
So I actually did better. I only had 21. My opponent only got 21%. So in theory, anybody who's a Republican is going to just go down and vote Republican for every.
And you think
for every race.
that accounted for everybody that?
That accounted for everybody who. That accounted for everybody except for those who, for one reason or another, either they know me or they perceive me a certain way and decided not to vote for me. I don't say they don't like me, but I mean, I'm not naive. People don't like all of us, right?
People don't. I mean, a certain subsect of the population
Sure.
are just not gonna
Sure.
do anything. Huh? Do you know that Ohio is a meme in the national landscape?
Well, I know that there's the "That's So Ohio,"
Yeah, that's so.
which means like bad.
No, it doesn't mean necessarily bad. I don't think.
I thought it meant
it's
bad.
not good. Do you know?
Does it really mean bad though?
No,
It's not a good thing. It's not a compliment.
It's not a compliment, but I don't think it's a diss. I'm not as in tune with meme culture as some of my Gen Alpha counterparts. But the joke is that like Ohio is like where nothing happens. Like this is like the vanilla. If America was ice cream, this would be vanilla. Like it's like, you know what I mean? Like
that's not a bad thing necessarily. I mean,
I think he just went viral.
Why?
Because
I ate the last ice cream I ate when I had my ice cream on Saturday night, and it was perfect because I wanted to put some Reese's Pieces in it. It was vanilla.
You are not beating the allegations. You are not beating the allegations.
When I have a blizzard, I want vanilla. It's plain, and then I mix in the M&Ms or the Reese's Pieces or the cookie dough.
You like the you know what NPC is? Non-plot character.
My kids have used that before. Yeah, it's been a couple of years though.
The whole like one
you're
of the
so
other
NPC.
So
you're
like
saying
Ohio is an NPC.
Ohio's like nothing.
Like
nothing.
yeah, it's like
we're not
skibidy Ohio. You know what I mean?
No offense to our neighboring states, but are Michigan, Indiana, West Virginia, Kentucky, or Pennsylvania like less vanilla?
Yes, absolutely. I think. Well, okay, let's go down the list. Pennsylvania, my home state. Philadelphia, go Birds. Definitely not.
Yeah, but they lost yesterday, by the way. So sorry.
What that dude's freaking make me go into the Cleveland Browns right now.
You know by now that
was a low blow.
I call things as I see them. I'm just being honest.
Okay, West Virginia.
They lost.
You got
the Browns are horrible, by the way. Don't even get me started.
Okay, fair enough. West Virginia is like the capital of incest and hillbilly people. I'm not. Oh, you don't have to. Don't touch that one, please. I don't want please, but that's what I say. Kentucky is like southern, you know what I mean? They're a little racist, but like kind of in the fun way, if that's possible.
Okay. And the bourbon that we mentioned earlier.
And the bourbon, they got Jack Daniels.
Horses,
like, yeah, If you want to talk Indiana, I'd say you have an argument. But I think to say that any state bordering Ohio is more vanilla than Ohio would be a little bit far-fetched.
Well, to me, Ohio is like and it used to be this way politically, where like as Ohio went, so went the nation with presidential races.
Which maybe that's where some of it comes from.
It's no longer necessarily like that, but for a long time it was very reliably, whichever way Ohio went, the nation went. But I would say this: I think Ohio has just always been sort of underrated and underestimated by people who haven't been here.
My girlfriend actually wanted me to tell you she loves Ohio.
See?
She loves your state.
People who actually have been here love it.
Yeah, she's like she could go on and on about how much she loves Ohio.
I think with all due respect, no offense to you, what you're saying about all these other states and like that's just the conventional wisdom, the CW, right?
Yes.
The conventional wisdom.
Yeah.
I'm always like, screw conventional wisdom.
Sure.
Like, let's find out for ourselves.
Oh, okay.
You know?
So you're saying come here.
I'm saying if you come here and find out, you'll see, oh, wow, this is a state that has no huge city like Philadelphia. We don't have a Philadelphia, but we have three medium-sized cities: Cleveland, Columbus, Cincinnati. So if you want urban, we have it. We also have smaller cities: Dayton, Toledo, Akron, Canton, Youngstown, whatever. They're smaller cities, and then we have all of our towns that are all kind of cool.
You guys are kind of just like a spider web of suburbia, and I think for some people that reads plain.
Yeah.
If anyway, you know, I whatever. I'm not. To be clear, I'm not.
I know you're just asking me about what I know about it, and what do I have to comment on the Ohio's and media.
Yeah.
I mean, I would say that that may be the conventional wisdom, but once people actually visit here, they usually think differently.
# eat vanilla ice cream.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Sure. Well, I don't know. You want to leave it there?
Speaking of ice cream,
we
have some good ice cream business companies from Ohio.
Oh.
Grader's from Cincinnati.
Oh, okay.
Jenny's from Columbus.
Shout out local Ohio businesses.
And Mitchell's is the one in Cleveland, the big one here. And I'm bringing this up in part because it's true, but also because Mitchell's, the closest Mitchell's to my house, is at this shopping center up on the corner here, which is next to Nervous Dog Coffee, which is the coffee that we've been drinking, which
Shout out Nervous Dog Coffee.
is good, right?
I thought it was actually better without the oat milk we put in it originally.
This is a blueberry cinnamon coffee. It's good, right?
It was very powerfully blueberry, like upon first sip, which I loved. I
like too.
It was like it felt like drinking a latte but with black coffee. If that made sense.
Yeah.
I loved it. Yeah. Shout them out.
Nervous Dog.
Hey.
Boom. Were we supposed to be looking at this or no?
Oh no, yeah, no, you're fine.
I haven't really looked at it the whole time.
Oh, you want to wave? Say hi to everybody.
Hey guys. Lexi's so good now. She fell asleep. She's right here.
Cool. Should we leave it there? All right, Representative Synenberg.
It's been fun. I really have had a good time.
I had a great time too. This was a very lively podcast, and this is what it was supposed to be about.
Good.